Hey, John Bond here from Storm Fitness Academy. Question I get asked a lot is, John, if you were just qualifying as a personal trainer, or when you qualified first as a personal trainer, what equipment did you buy? Well, actually, when I first qualified as a personal trainer, I was working in a gym, so I didn't have to buy any equipment. I just used the gym equipment. But when I then eventually went self-employed, and for quite a long period, for about 2 years I think it was, I did everything remotely. So I worked outdoors and I worked in people's homes, and it was 2 great years actually. Particularly we had some good weather. I remember being outside one day, just looking around and thinking, I can't believe I'm getting paid for this. This is awesome. So obviously I had to make sure I had portable equipment. So the things that I bought, I bought lots of stuff, and some of it I used a lot and some of it I didn't use so much. So the stuff I used a lot was my kettlebells. I love kettlebells. They are so versatile. You can use them for muscular endurance, muscular strength. They work on your core. You can devise it so it works on cardio. You can work on power. They're fantastic. They're so versatile. And if people are working hard and they're eating well, they also contribute towards improving body composition. So brilliant bits of kit. Very portable. You can stick them in the boot of your car. You don't need to take loads with you. A good set to start with. It depends on the sort of the individuals that you're working with, but for most people, particularly if you're working with sedentary people, you can start with a 6, an 8 and a 10, and that's all you need. And I think if you look them up on Amazon, then you can get a 6, an 8 and a 10 for about 50 quid. So it's not too much, quite a good investment. So that's 3 bits of kit, or 1 bit of kit in 3 different weight categories that I would definitely recommend you guys getting. Another bit of kit, I don't use a huge amount these days. I've still got it. I use it mainly for warming up actually, but was really valuable when I was portable was a suspension trainer. Now you can get the TRX one, which are brilliant. They're the sort of the original, but they are probably the most expensive. There are other companies that make them cheaper. Just be careful, you get a good one. But I have the one I've got is a TRX, but I have used some imitation ones, and some are great and some not so great. But one I did use was about 35 quid. It was absolutely fine. Now with suspension trainers, they come with a door anchor, so you can use them in people's homes. So you can put it in somebody's doorway and use it there, and you can also wrap them around a decent branch on a tree. Now obviously health and safety, just make sure that branch will actually take the weight of whoever's pulling on it. Where I used to train a lot out Buckingham Park, and there was a big oak tree with a massive fat branch. That was the perfect height that I used to use a lot. Don't go there, they'll be stealing my patch, but I'm sure you can find a decent tree somewhere else. So suspension trainers are great. The other one I use now, I used when I was outdoors, I've used in homes, parks, everywhere. Absolutely brilliant. Definitely recommend this. Is Focus pads and boxing gloves. Brilliant workout. Great for endurance, great for cardio, great for fun. Really can't recommend them enough. And they are really cheap. I got some recently. I've got some gloves with the thumb protectors, with wraps, and the pads was £25 for the whole lot. So that is I'm sure that included delivery too. So that's really cheap. So go on Amazon again, check it out. I'll put all these links on the website anyway, so you guys can have a look. So really recommend those. Don't just buy a pair and start using them. Get some training. We do a workshop here. I know that's a shameless plug, but we do a workshop here, and we'll go through everything from how to wrap the hands, how to hold the pads, how to do the straights, the crosses, the hooks, all that stuff. So you will have a good understanding of how to then set up typical combos, how you use them, all that sort of stuff. So definitely do that. Don't just get them out, because you'll hurt yourself. But worse than that, you'll look a plonker. I've seen loads of people holding pads, and it's hideous to watch. When you know how to hold pads and throw punches, and you see a trainer who doesn't know what they're doing, it's just quite ugly to watch. It's not a typical movement pattern. Running, walking, they're typical movement patterns. We can all do that. We've been doing that since we were babies and toddlers. But holding pads and throwing punches, you need to have some instruction on. But once you do, use them. Brilliant. The other thing I use loads is I use a Tabata timer. The one I've got is called a Gym Boss timer. Actually, I've got two. I've got a Gym Boss and I've got another one that I can't remember the name of it, but it's actually cheaper than Gym Boss and it's just as good. And they look like little pages. You clip them to your belt and you can set up intervals and they bleep and buzz and let you know when it's the end of an interval. I use them all the time. I use them for warming up. So I set it like a 30-second timer. So when we're doing our dynamics, I know when to move on to the next one. And you can use them for timing rest periods between sets and all different things. Really, really good. Again, cheap, between £10 and £15. Again, I know someone will write in the comments that, well, why would you buy one of those? You can download a free app and do that. You can, and I've got those apps, and they're great. They're brilliant. You absolutely can. But the trouble is with apps, as you probably know, is they do drain the battery life on your phone. So I kind of like to have the tablet timer as well. And especially if it's raining, taking your phone out into the rain is not always a good idea. So interval timers, again, brilliant. Use those. There's other bits of kit that I've bought over the years. I've got an SAQ bag which came with, that was about 50 quid, and I think they're more expensive than that now. I think I've got them at a good time, but they had agility ladders, evasion belts, reaction balls, all that sort of stuff. And when I was teaching classes, group exercise, they were brilliant. And when I was training people outdoors, again, brilliant. It just adds a new dimension to your training. Very fun. I train indoors now, so I don't really have a need for a lot of that stuff. But if you guys are going to be training outdoors, then get one. 50 quid for a bag with all that stuff. Really, really good. The other stuff I've got in my gym, I've got medicine balls. I've got a rack with loads of medicine balls. I use them occasionally. I wouldn't fly out to buy those. I've got a Swiss ball. Swiss ball's great for core stability. Does fit in the car. It's kind of portable, but you take it outside, and if it's on a slope, it rolls away. Wouldn't be my first choice. So just to summarise that, I would go with get yourself a nice interval timer. Get yourself a nice set of kettlebells, maybe a 6, an 8 and a 10. Get a suspension trainer and get yourself a set of focus pads and boxing gloves. And that's it really. If you've got any other questions about any of this stuff, I'm more than happy to help, so write some comments or send us an email. Thanks for listening.